I'm going to be doing a new series of videos. These are going to be very regular, hopefully one every couple of days, talking about things that are of interest to you. Feel free to comment in the boxes below or shoot me an email at info@mysterytomastery.com and we can talk about whatever topics we like. Because today I'm just going to lay it out the way that I see it, and it might offend a few people, and I'm sorry for that. But the truth of the matter is that the traditional approach of playing brass instruments, whilst is not wrong, because we've created amazing players, some of them might have learnt from books or had teachers, some of them just pick up the instrument and play. They're not here watching this, or maybe they are. They want to do things differently, easier. Point being that there are method books that were written 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years ago, and they give you exercises to play, great exercises, no problem. But why are people having issues? Why are you looking for a video? Why are you looking around and watching trumpet? You want to learn a new trick. You want to make playing easier. So let me ask you a question. How do you know that playing can be easier? What are your limitations? Why are you having problems? What are you looking for? How do you know that you're having problems? Ask yourself, how do I know that I'm having a problem? Well, because I'm fighting my instrument. It feels terrible. There's the word. It feels terrible. It feels like hard work. I'm choking. I'm doing all this sort of negative tension stuff. By the way, I'm out of the studio. I'm in my living room. I'd love to be turned around a little bit more because the beach is in the background. But then when I do that, you can see the beach, which is awesome, but then you can't see me. And some would argue that's actually better. But anyway, shut up. So it's about the way that you feel when you're playing, right? So only this week I'm giving a lesson to a guy who runs a university music degree course up here in Queensland. And he said to me, this is quote, because we've had a few lessons, he goes, "You've been talking about the feelings of it. How did it feel? Feelings. He goes, "I never got it. But only now, as of this last week's lesson," he goes, "I get what you're talking about. I understand the point of recognising the feelings of playing." The problem that I'm seeing this with pro players that are touring with international bands, and I'm not, BSing you, it's true, that they know there's an easy way, but the brain can't get around it because when they try and relax, it all falls apart. The system is so wired from so deep down, and it's not easy fixing that. And when people sign up, they do the free trial of the Largo stage, and it goes for a week. There's only so much that you're going to be able to achieve in 1 week. It takes longer than that to reprogram. And the methods, the crows going crazy out there, the process of just doing exercises actually completely misses the point, because you can play out of any method book that you've ever seen, and you'll get to a point and you go, "I can do that far, I can do that, go that far, I can go that far, I can go that far," but you can't get any further because your processes and your programming are limiting how far you can take it. So then you do another method, and the same processes exist, and then you see how far you can take it. And then you'll do another process, another method, another approach, another lesson, bunches of pedal tones or squeaky things or whatever. You make it up. But you're still limited by the processes, your pre-wired processes. So methods aren't going to fix you. Fixing this, changing this will fix it. So if you recognise that it feels bad playing and you're fighting your instrument, the purpose of what I'm doing is getting you to feel the feeling of what I want it to feel like when you're playing. And I mean that literally. As you'll see throughout the whole course, the whole singing C thing, the eyes closed, the humming, the full breath, the passive reduction, the body's concert hall. All this is about making you realise that there are inefficiencies in the system that you need to accept and be aware of, and then by reprogramming a new idea, a new psychology, and a new sensation, a new feeling, and I say it a million times, but people just don't get it, is that you need to recognise the feeling of what it should play like. Watch a video of the most efficient play that you've ever seen with the most beautiful sound, and then go, gee, I wonder what it feels like when he's playing. And when I teach it to you, which I can, and it's easy, the brain will go, no, that doesn't work. I mean, I get it as an exercise, but there's no way that that can be the case. And it can be the case. If I get you to bend your finger around, soft and slow, check out the Body's Concert Hall video. If you want to make a change to your playing, you've got to rethink, and I can't do it here in one video. That's the whole course is set up to explain it and go through, right? So that feeling, is it foreign? Is it familiar? And do it with your eyes closed. It's the magnifying glass. It's looking, internalising, recognising a new feeling. And most of you will go, that's great, Greg, but I can't possibly play like that. And some will go, it's familiar. Some will go, it's familiar, but not when I'm playing. I love that, and that's common. And some people go, oh, it's completely foreign. I've never felt that. That's what it's got to feel like. This is all part of your instrument. Whether you're a saxophone player, tuba player, trombone player, oboe player, this is all part of your system, part of your instrument, right? The body instrument system. People don't think about that. It's all this and it's all that. It's not the most efficient way to get the best sound. And again, there are some amazing players in the world that are full on, incredible musicians, incredible players, but really, really inefficient. And a lot of them cannot stand the feeling of playing, even though they're making a great career from it. So the feelings are everything, right? So now imagine you've taken a good breath, Body's concert hall breath. So it's like a balloon in the body, right? And it just wants to come back to here. It just wants to be there. So if we relax, it's passive. Passive, not active exertion, abdominal activity. It's just an expansion and a reduction. And combine that with Body's Concert Hall, open the system up, and don't sacrifice it when you're playing. That's the feeling that I want you to have when we're playing, especially at the start, using this passive reduction. Now, as you get higher in the range and you're playing louder, you need to engage the body. But the whole Singing C series is about not engaging here and starting to change shape to get the higher notes, whilst maintaining the feeling of openness and passive. I cannot overstate how important this is. And people don't get it. And they just go, it's not possible. You can't do it like that. I don't get the relationship between the feeling and what I should be doing when I'm playing. And this is what needs to change. Because the reason I can talk about it is because I experienced it for years and years and years, and I've spent I started 35 years ago. By the year 2000, a change had to happen. By 2004, I put my first book out. By 2010, I put the second book out. That's 2019, and I've learnt more in the last 5 years and just refining the approach of those two books. But the whole Windworks thing, there's just so much more to it. The way I understand it, the way I deliver it, the way I think about it, the feelings of it, the whole concept of that, the whole concept of passive reduction, the Body's Concert Hall, articulation. If you want to make a difference to your playing, you've got to check this stuff out. And it will seem foreign, and you'll struggle to reconcile what I'm talking about with actually playing. But if you understand it, for example, take a breath and hum a note. Now, there are 1,000 different ways to hum a note, but if you understand and relax the body. The more relaxed the body is, this is the 1% rule. Please check it out. The more I relax, the better the sound is, the easier it is. Now, people can often hum going, back of the tongue comes up, all these crazy things. But if you understand breath, expansion, a balloon, relax, you can play like that. The voice is vibrating, the voice box, larynx. I want the lips to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords. I want the lips to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords. Meaning, I want it to feel the same when I'm playing my instrument as it does when I'm humming. And I demonstrate it so many times through the course. But you've got to take it literally, okay? So if you take a breath in, shut your eyes, relax as much as you can, and recognise that the system's the same. Whether you're or you can convert that into playing. Now, if you try that and just put the mouthpiece on your lips and whatever, and you find that no note happens, what do you do instinctively? Grip down on the lips and push the air harder because the lips are gripped. You can do that, but it's harder work and doesn't sound as good. And until you understand the fact that you've got to let go, not do that, open the resonance of the body up, not push, and allow the thing that's vibrating to operate under less pressure. I just don't know how many different ways to explain it, and I'm going to. As I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of these. And please pose questions in the comments box and, tell me off and abuse me, I don't care, right? But at the end of the day, the traditional method of buzz your lips, instantly, right? That's not what's required to play, and we accept that as being the way to play because it's hard work playing a brass instrument. No. And eventually we will change this whole psychology. But people will see that. They want to make a change to their playing. They want to play differently. They want to play easier. But as soon as I offer this as the solution, they go, no, you can't do that. It's too different. Well, if you're not prepared to do something different, you're not going to get better results. It's very simple, right? So all I can say is a lot of the Windworks course is about eyes closed, sensation/feelings development. And from that base, if you can recognise, eyes closed, the feeling of efficiency and relaxation, letting go, and telling yourself that's what I've got to feel like when I'm playing. Turn that reptilian part of the brain off that starts to go no, and go, I'm going to reform new neural pathways, new trigger points. The trigger points are looking for the parts where you start to overexert just because of habit, or often being taught to buzz your lips together, blow faster to play higher, smile, all this nonsense. The approach, the understanding that I want you to have is based on the feeling of a free, loose voice, breath, passive reduction, humming, getting body resonance into your sound, finding your aperture corners, a lot of this. I'm not going to go into it now, it's all at the course. And then go from there, okay? And when you notice the brain going, that's not going to work for me. And this was the thing, another guy, in fact, I will show you I'll post it in the description below, an email that I got from a professional player who was doing a theatre show in Europe. I won't say any more than that. I won't divulge students' information, but he's a pro player. And he's working through it. And, we get the lead pipe and it's vibrating from inside the lips and it's a lot looser. And he said to me, because we had an online lesson, and he was doing it all perfectly. And the only thing was he was struggling to let go in the middle of the lips. So I had him going, can you do that? If you can't let go there, what do you think you're doing when you add an instrument? Just saying. Anyway, he goes, I'm working through the course. I thought I was doing it right, but it felt so bizarre that it couldn't be right. And I've gone, dude, you're all over it. And he's like, but it's too open. I said, no. You've been playing too closed. But in the articulation, the 5 articulation video, we start from completely closed. All of this stuff is taking it to the extremes. You know, opening right up and then controlling it. Pinching right up, choking right up, tightening the body right up, and then letting go. Finding the optimum point of work from the body and flow, the airflow, the tension bit. People hate the word tension, I don't care. There is tension in a drum skin, and there's tension in a guitar string, and there's tension in the vocal cords. It's not strain, it's not force. So let's not get carried away, it's just semantics. But there is tension requirement. Some people say flexion, flexing a muscle, but even then I don't want you to flex when you're playing. How much sound can you make for nothing? And then when you play, converting that energy, we're not blowing through the instrument. We're not blowing through the instrument, we're not blowing through the instrument, we're not blowing through the instrument. From the studies that I've read, there's like 5% of the energy that we use gets amplified, that's not the word I'm after, comes out as sound. The rest of the energy is either lost to friction in the pipe or, I hate it when I can't remember words, gets lost to friction in the pipe or keeping the sound wave alive. Emitted is the word. About 5% of the energy that we use is emitted in the sound that we hear. It's kind of wild, right? So we're energising air in the pipe. We don't have to blow. Get in, just release. Start from there. And then when you start to engage the body, just Valsalva manoeuvre, kick in, the locking of the throat. All the back pressure, when we start tonguing, just things tighten up, do things start and tighten up. I can't go on to it enough. Yes, you're doing methods, and the methods are exercises to get you started and go, right, I work on this. But if your process is wrong, you're going to get stuck in the same spot, and you're here watching, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have to reconsider the way the whole thing works and be prepared to embrace differences. You're trying to make a difference, so don't let that reptilian thing that's going, no, wrong, rule you, because then you're not going to make a difference. But if you go, okay, I like the difference, even though the whole concept of going, might not remotely relate to playing for you, that's the change you need to make. And the fact that I live here now and left Melbourne after 25 years of touring the whole world playing, this is what I want to do and share. There's too many people, and the more the Windworks has been up for a year, so I've had a bunch of heaps of new students, and a lot of them are pros, really unsatisfied, right? Not to mention beginners. I've got a couple of 8-year-old and 9-year-old at the moment. And the sound that they can make when we don't encourage them to pinch, buzz, sound like a kid. No. Encourage kids to sound like professionals. Here's how it works. It's easy. Get a straw and put over the mouthpiece. Keep relaxed, loose. And all of a sudden they make this amazing sound. It's not rocket science. It's really complex, but it's really easy. So please, listen, work through the course and hear the concepts. And it's free, and it's free for a week. If you want another week, just email info@mysterytomastery.com. Hey Greg, didn't quite get through the free stage, can I have another week? No problem. I'll give you a free year. If you want unlimited for the rest of your life, free. I don't care, I'll do that. Because I need you to start and figure this stuff out. I see what's going on out there. I've probably got more access to more players than most people out there that are teaching. And I was going to say, I've after performing, I still gig, I still travel around and do stuff, but a lot less because my time is doing Windworks and sitting here listening to crows and sirens by the beach. So because the siren's coming, it's going to get louder. I'm going to leave you, but think about it, because if you don't, you might end up in one of these because you've got perforated larynxes or hernias or God knows what from overwork. So thank you to the ambulance department for coming right on time, and just check out the Largo Status stage of Windworks. You'll see how many hours and hours and hours and hours to put it together, and years and years and years and years of experience have gone in to help you with this. I will help however I can and post questions. I'll be doing more talks like this, basically on a daily basis, as long as I can. I'm about to have knee surgery. So my left-handed golf, if you don't know about my left-handed golf, I'm right-handed. The whole concept of reprogramming the body to do something, check out the forum. There's my golf blog. Time to get serious. If you're here, if you're still watching, you want to make a change to your playing. It's obvious. All right? So stop stuffing around and be prepared to leave your preconceived ideas at the door, ego at the door, and go, right, how much can it hurt to explore some new ideas? And I wouldn't have gone to the effort to do what I'm doing if it wasn't great stuff that I've learned a lot from and I know will help you. And it just frustrates me that I'm having a lesson with a chat to a friend of mine the other day who love him to death, but he hasn't checked out the course. And he goes, I've got this, I've just discovered over the last 12 months, how I can relax and you don't have to blow, and it's just so much easier. And I've seen him for years and years and worked with him, and he's been working too hard. I've spotted it for years what's going on. But thankfully, he's got it. And I said, you're joking, right? Like, I thought he was telling me because he was just like, hey, Greg, did you know that la 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 la? Because it's everything that I've been living for the last 25 years and have documented here. And he just found it, thankfully, after all these years himself. I want to share it with you. It's not hard. Just be prepared to be open-minded. All right, I'm going. Trumpet players. Just shut up. I'll see you tomorrow or the next day. Please, any questions, any ideas, any thoughts, criticisms, queries, stock market tips, and start the course. Just start the course. It's free and it's good. And don't rush. Enough from me. See ya. Subscribe to the YouTube channel here and press the bell down the bottom because it lets you know when I've put a new video up. And there's a lot of videos coming. And I cannot wait to see you for the Windworks International Harmonic Slur Challenge. You have a great day. See you soon.